Well, hello out there, everybody. This is John Thomas Kellum. I just got done finishing my coffee this morning. I am sitting here. I am John Thomas Kellum. I don't know about everybody else out there and who you are, and whether or not you got a double sitting in for yourself or not. But I'm John Thomas Kellum. Same John Thomas Kellum that has lived here in Fontana. Does everybody know? I've got the teeth. And I've got a birthmark on my side that has never left me. So I am John Thomas Kellum, and I have, without no promise to be paid, or just out of goodwill, I have solved problem we have with coming up with the funds to put up the border wall. I have solved it. I have completely solved it and put an end to that whole issue. No longer needs to be debated. Can you believe that? Can you believe? Can you believe that a solution to that problem has established itself, and there is no longer a need to get in argumentative debates on how to fund this wall? I've solved it. No promise to be paid, no desire to, I'm looking for a loan. Let me tell you that. I'm looking for a loan with out of good faith, the promise to pay it back is all I'm looking for. It's a loan. I don't want no free handout from some if Walmart wants to make good on that hernia that I've suffered, but I honestly believe that I've honestly believed that I am so deceived that every time I stood in front of my phone and was talking to myself and whomever would be listening in the garage I've been staying at. I almost said my garage. Obviously, if it was my garage, I wouldn't be living in a garage. I'd be living in the house. Obviously. But besides that, I wouldn't buy that house anyway. I wouldn't live in Fontana. But anyhow, the garage I'm living in. And I never, for the most part, I've always thought that it was friends and people, who had a concern for John that listened to me over the years. But I now believe over a period of years that I've been god-awfully deceived. And what brought it about is these Southern California police officers. And I've actually got an impression of them threatening me. But I'll tell you what you ought to do is you ought to just take your uniform off. Because you don't threaten people in a uniform, period. You don't threaten people in a uniform. You know the law. Take your uniform off, quit your job, and come whoop my ass. How's that? That's the best thing for you to do. Don't do it in the uniform, because that's just gonna you end up, by law, you should end up getting what you should get, which is a career behind bars, is what you should get. But that's what I would tell you. You take that uniform off and quit that job, and then come try to whoop my ass. Anyhow, I am sitting here and I've solved the wall issue, and that is something that I'm very pleased over. See, I again, as I've said in many of my videos, I'm very conscious of my own life. There's nothing in the life of John Thomas Kellum that would justify a need to kiss anybody's ass ever. Never. Not a single soul do I need to kiss anybody's ass. Never. And nor will I. That's the bottom line. There's nothing in my life that would justify a need on my part to do that. Now, I can't speak for a version of my father, a version of that stepfather, or that man that my mother married, or either of these brothers of mine, or brothers and sisters I'm not even aware of that I have. I can't speak for them, but for me, I speak. Anyhow, I solved that wall issue, and I'm not expecting any favors. What I'm expecting is just simply, if I can get that loan, that'd be great. But I kind of sat back last night and kind of thought about the construction aspect of the wall, and that is a brilliant idea I have with the used tires and recycled concrete. Of course, we would have to use a considerable amount of rebar in this wall. Because another good thing about this wall is if it's built the way I see it, if we ever run into a problem where there's a big flood in Mexico, or there's there's something takes place in Mexico where it can literally flood with contaminated waters, it will have trouble breaking this wall, you know. But the likelihood of that ever happening between now and time end is pretty impossible. But my guess is this wall will sustain a lot. And used tires, we have an abundance of used tires in America. We've got thousands and jillions and jillions and jillions of used tires. And I don't know how many miles long this wall has to be, because I'm not familiar with the distance in the border between California and Mexico. But we've got plenty of used tires, and this would take a good dent out of the stockpile of used tires we have here in America. Now, the environmental effects. Well, we know there's no danger or no negative environmental effects to tires. I don't know what tires still. I don't think they admit anything that would be a danger to the environment. Now, whether or not tires, they've certainly got years when they're not on the road and they're just being used in that sense. They go till time ends. They would last till the world ends, whatever that may be. But they've got, we've got an abundance of them. That's the bottom of it. And what I'm wondering is, as far as heat, I'm wondering if the tires, are they collect heat? I don't know the scientific words for that, but I don't think they do. That would be my only concern, is it would create a sort of a warming of that area over there with this abundance of tires. But I don't believe they do. And but that's the most cost-effective way to build this wall, is to use things like used tires, because they're good size, and we've got tons of them here in America. And the way I see it is, you just line up like a double-sided row of them, I guess, and between the mixture of recycled concrete and actual concrete and some rebar, you could put up a good 20-25 foot wall that just run all the way across, and then you can cover it in something else, if desired, covered in something else, and that'd make for a hell of a wall. It would make for a hell of a wall, be very cheap. I mean, nowadays businesses actually pay. They actually pay a tire recycling business to pick up their tires. So if the government went out and said, well, we'll buy your tires. I mean, you can sell us your tires, and we'll take them for so much less than what you normally pay others to pick up your used tires. So you're not only you got the material for the wall, but now you're being paid to take the material to use to build this wall. Because most businesses have to pay to have their used tires picked up. Now the government goes around and collects them all, and then bam, abundance of tires. And tires, once you fill a tire up with concrete and shove rebar down the middle of it, that's as solid can be. That's a cheap and effective way to build a wall. And then you got your drone platforms that you put, every half a mile or whatever. And lasers. The lasers will be used to detect a physical body crossing the top half of the wall, if anybody's ever to scale it. When they get to the top, the lasers will pick up and identify it as a body, not a wild lion or a bald eagle or a hawk or a falcon or something. The lasers will identify the physical characteristics of a human being and know. Then the drones will come off their platforms. The drone will fly over above where the person's at. The person will be tasered, and it'll be just as that easy. Just like you buy those things that kill insects. You know, the electrical things, you put them up there, and then the fly flies into it, poof, hits the ground. It's be the same sort of thing. The drone will go up off its platform, head in the direction where this body's at, this human being's at, taser them, that person will freeze up. Then after that, they'll roll off the top of the hill. And then what we could do, and this is just a thought I thought of, if they follow, it's a good idea, but there's some comedy in it too. If they followed the wrong side, what we could do is get an unmanned. What we could do is build an unmanned and have it platformed, you know, every 2 or 3 miles, an unmanned helicopter. This would be about the size of a Volkswagen Bug or something, and it will come up off a platform, and it'll have like hooks and cables on it. It'll fly above the deceased body, lower down, gently grab it with some hooks, and set it back on the Mexico side. And we've solved this problem, and then it's the best way to do it. Now people say electric fence, but those electric fences are a danger to animals. See, that's a problem with making it electrical, because then animals and bears or anything that's in that area gets unfortunately zapped for no good reason. You know, animals should have the free will to travel from one land to another. We shouldn't be zapping them with our walls to defend our borders. So the drone idea. See, the drone will be able to use lasers. The lasers will detect whether the physical characteristics fits a human body or a mountain lion or whatever it fits. It'll identify it as a human. And then the drone will come off its platform, taser the human being, and then the person, you know, then when they free up, they'll have no control over that, and they'll roll up, and hit the ground. And then then they're done. That would be they will learn their lesson. And now people say that's cruel and unusual, but they're breaking the law. Remember, you're breaking the law when you cross the border. You're breaking the law. You know, and I never agreed with people breaking the law, crossing a border, and then when they give birth to children, the reward for breaking the law is the children that are born here in the U.S. from illegal aliens get citizenship. That's like telling me, because you dug in our trash cans and took our cans of plastic out of there for breaking the law, we're going to send you to West Valley, but then we're going to hand you a check for $500 or something. It's like it makes no sense to reward people for breaking the law, particularly in that sense. That's the worst of laws to break, to literally to break a law that establishes you freedom and opportunity in a land that is not your own, from a land that is oppressive and has no well-established economy. So you're breaking the law, and you're really enlightening your life by breaking that law. So it makes no sense why you'd give these people that are here illegally their children's citizenships. That's rewarding them for breaking the law. Now for you breaking the law, we're going to give your kids citizenship. I should have never been. I never saw that to be. That made no sense to me. But anyhow, that's the answer to that wall. Platform drones, every so many half a mile or whatever, a mile, the drone will sit on a platform. The walls will be made out of used tires and recycled concrete, whatever other recycled material we can throw in it. So it's cheap and cost effective to build this wall. Funding the wall is a matter of all the illegal aliens we currently have in the U.S. must come and start the citizenship process. I wouldn't send them back. Why? Because they're going to stimulate the economy here. Because most of them right away go out and look for jobs. They're not lazy people. They're some of the hardest working people. They do great landscaping work, that's for sure. They're really good as landscapers. But some of them own businesses in America, and a lot of these Mexican-owned businesses do fairly well. And a lot of these products that are come here that are imported from Mexico into America, candies and chips and beers and everything else that are imported here, and whatever else they import, they do very well here. They make pretty good return on their products. And so what we do is we give all these illegals citizenship. We need the extra population here in America to stimulate the economy. And if we unfortunately ever get into some type of a war that, you know, numbers counts, we'll have the numbers necessary. But in return for your citizenship, you'll get a tax deduction on your year-end taxes for so many years, and that's the funds that are going to pay for the wall. And those who have gotten citizenship in the last 10 years, you're going to have an additional deduct on your tax returns at the end of the year, because you came here illegally. See, when I break the law, I'm penalized. When I go to court, the judge says, "How do you want to pay for this, John? You broke the law." Now, why should it be any different for illegal aliens? Why should an illegal alien who's broke the law be told, "Here's the citizenship and here's your Social Security disability," after being here a year? That's the reward for breaking the law and crossing the border illegally. Now, when I go dig in a trash can, I get threatened by police for taking cans of plastic out of the trash can. And some of them climb across the border with daggers in their pockets. And then they get citizenship and health care and Social Security disability, and their children get free health care when they're born here with any problems. John carries a dagger. John goes to jail for having a dagger in his backpack for breaking the law. So see, when you apply the law, as you did in my case, I got to support the law then. Now you put me in support of the law. So I don't believe in illegal aliens getting no reward at all for breaking the law. And if you got here illegally and got citizenship, and you're now a citizen, and you happen to do that within the last 10 years, you're going to have to pay for the wall. That's the way you broke the law. You broke the law. That's what you did. It's against the law to cross the border. It's illegal. You're here illegally. You've broken the law. You got citizenship, you got a job here, you own a business here, now you got to pay for the wall, unfortunately. That's your penalty that you didn't get, that you should have got for breaking the law. Instead of getting a penalty, you got a reward. You got freedom, you got an opportunity, you got a good job. And some of you got Social Security disability who come over here with disabilities. And John, at 49 years old, who's broken the law very little in his life, and he didn't break the law until the age of 42, and it's all petty. And it would have never been if you would have honored my right to the jobs I had, whomever it was that decided to keep me from work for years. So you break the law, you pay for the wall. That's the way it goes. So now, those who are here, who got citizenship within the last 10 years, who broke the law to get over here and got citizenship as a reward for that, you're going to be penalized. Just like when somebody goes to court with drug possession and stole a loaf of bread from Stater Brothers. How do you want to pay for this petty theft charge? Right? Right. So when you break the law and you cross the border and you didn't get fined, now you're going to finally pay your fine. There was a delay in it. So if you've come here illegally within the last 10 years and you got citizenship, you're going to help pay for the wall. Payroll deduct. That's the way the cookie crumbles. If Americans who don't cross borders have to pay fines when they break the law here in America, also shall you. So that's the way the cookie. There should be no reason to debate that. That's just the way law is in America. You break the law and you got to pay a fine. Now I've suggested that needs to change, particularly when you're dealing with people who live on the streets who have absolutely nothing at all. Makes no sense to burden somebody like that with a fine they're never going to be able to pay. That's not cost effective, that's not good for the economy, and that does not prevent crime, period. So the best way to deal with it is, as I said, you've broken the law. Yes, you're a citizen now, but you broke the law and crossed the border illegally to establish that citizenship, and now you're going to get a tax deduct on your year-end taxes. So if you get back $2,600, well, this time you only get back $2,300. $300's going to build the wall. Sorry, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Have your wife collect cans and plastic out of the garbage cans. Have your wife get out there in the morning with the plastic bag and pick up cans of plastic. Which a lot of these Latino women, you see them all over throughout Fontana collecting cans of plastic. or have your wife sell some more tamales. Get up a little early and start selling those tamales in the parking lots. You can make up that loss of funds. You move Uncle Teddy and move Uncle Juanito in the house, and then you save in your rent funds and use it. That'll be to compensate for that $300 loss at the end of the year. That's how the wall needs to be paid for. And then these products that are being imported from Mexico here that are selling like crazy, a lot of these Mexican brand potato chips and beers and candy and all this other crap sells like crazy. An additional tax on that. Help pay for the wall. The wall's paid for now. That pays for the wall. And then Americans should have the option on their end of the year tax returns whether to donate $1 or $50 to help get this wall built. And there's a lot of Americans out there that say, fuck, if this is going to keep these Mexicans from stealing our jobs, I'm only getting back $1,600 for my taxes. Take $50 out for the wall. If this is going to get that wall built up, keep these Mexicans from stealing our jobs, take $50 out of my tax return. You'd be surprised. They may say one thing, you may get the impression by what few say, but there's a lot out there that are willing to donate $1 or $5 or $10 or $100 or $200 out of their taxes just to see that wall put up. So that funds it. Between the illegals and those who are currently here that are legal that need citizenship, you get your citizenship because we need you to stimulate the economy. But in return for this, you're gonna help pay for this wall. It's not gonna be a tax deduct that's going to cripple your ability to be able to afford the cost of living here in America. It's not going to cripple you. It's just going to take away from those extra funds for the mota, and, the mota, the beer, and the extra asada. That's the way it goes. So that. That's exactly right. That's the way it goes. So that's what we need to do. It's that simple. So the wall's funded. It is absolutely funded. There's no need to break out in a sweat. Oh boy, that's right. There's no need to break out in a sweat to figure out how to pay for the wall or get so frustrated you shit your pants. The wall's paid for. The wall is paid for. The wall is paid for. Good morning, America. The wall is paid for. So that's the best way to pay for it, right there. Yep, that's the way it's been away from. They broke the law. We could even take it 15 years or 20 years. And the people who are here now who've had citizenship for 20 years will be in a rage. What do you mean you're going to deduct my... If you got here illegally and you never got the penalty that Americans get for breaking the law here in America, somebody made a mistake. Now it's time for you to be penalized. And it's not going to be enough to cripple you to where you can't pay your bills or you can't take that trip to TJ or wherever you go, Rosarita or wherever the hell you go. It's not going to cripple your ability to do these things, but you just got to, pay. You got to pay for the wall because you broke the law. All these judges in America will definitely support that. They'll definitely support that. They're law people. You break the law, they want to penalize you. They'll say, that's right, you broke the law, you crossed here illegally, and you got rewarded for it. So now it's time for you to pay. Now it's time for the penalty, unfortunately. So the wall's paid for. We've solved that one. That was easy. Well, that was easy. Recycled tires, we've got jillions of here in America. There's no negative effects on tires, I don't believe, to the environment. If they're not on the road, they'll last until time in. They're not being under wear. They've got the steel reinforcement in them. That's like rebar. we've got it covered, man. That wall should be up within the next 10 years. Should be resurrected, and the drones should be sitting on their platforms. Well, what about a rain, John? What about if there's a storm out there? How's that drone going to fly in a storm, John? How's that drone going to fly in a storm? How's that drone going to use his taser when it's a storm, John? How's this? You know, you're going to get those people. Oh, boy. Oh, the metal midgets. The metal midgets in America. How's that drone gonna? Believe me, if a bird could fly, and some of them, I've seen birds fly in some awful weather. Some of them, you know, they're having a little trouble controlling themselves, but they manage through heavy winds and rain when they fly. So it wouldn't be that tough to stabilize a drone in some good winds and some good rain. That's easy doing. That is the least of a problem. Now, in like a hurricane or something like that, we wouldn't have to worry about the drones because the hurricane would sweep them right out the wall anyway, so we wouldn't have to worry about that. And that's the answer right there. That solves our wall issue right there. You want to, what we work on is, you know, the tires, the recycled concrete. And then on our side, we want our side to look good. On their side, well, we're not worried. Let them finish their side. Let them, if they want to decor their side, but it needs to be according to our plans to prevent. Put ladders in the side of the wall on your side. You know, make sure it's. Should have a smooth side. The finish should be smooth. That way there's nothing there to reach and grab onto. But that whole thing's solved. Solved and free at no charge. You didn't have to pay me. See, people get these senators and these governors and all these people. They're all paid politicians. I'm unpaid. I've solved the wall issue, and I'm just simply looking for a loan. You know, I didn't get blessed from none of these religious people that I've cursed every name of everything, and I've never gotten a nickel's blessing. So I'm just looking to get a loan so I can buy my piece of property in Arizona or one of these other states that I plan on going to and put me a tiny home on there. I'm 49 years old. I want my own place. I want a place where I could do as I wish and make decisions on and have a hand. I'm tired of living in somebody's garage, and that's it. That's not what I want. Not what I want. And anything that I have outside of what I'm not aware of having, which is my car, my dog, my clothing, myself, and the little bit of things I do have, outside of the rest of that, you can take it back. I don't want it. I don't want nothing that I can't have in hand and make decisions on and be in control of. I don't want it. That's the devil's tools. That's what the devil does, man. I'm a brilliant-minded person. I've studied the books that I needed to study. The devil knows that it's far more destructive on a life for it to have no control over anything in its life and to torment somebody with the idea that they have things that can change their current situation, but they can't have it in hand. You're much better off with nothing than to be tormented with the idea you have, but you can't have. And I have a greater understanding. I have a greater understanding. We eat when we're hungry, we drink when we're thirsty. Yep, you got that right. But it goes far beyond just that. Anyhow, so I just, but the greater minds got the greater minds. I'm not going to argue with the greater minds. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm just looking to, give myself a little something. That's what I'm after. If I don't get it, that's fine. I'm just going to move, eventually cross the border, and I got there's an invitation for some to a particular area, and they'll give you a JOB and a land to live on, and that's where I'm going to head if things don't work out. That's my direction.
That's it. It's gonna. I'll give you a hint as to the location. It'll take a complete oil change to get there. And what I say by that is because when you change your oil in your vehicle, it's supposed to be every 3,500 miles. And that's the mileage. So that's the closest thing that I can think of to it. And I thought, well, that's when I looked at the mileage, I said that's the exact same mileage it takes that you're supposed to do an oil change at 3,500. So that's where I'm going. You vexed my soul and you beheaded my soul. That's why I don't know what I should know and struggle every day to know what I should long know. And that man my mother married, he knows this all, but he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. He can say whatever he wants to say. He spent his life making certain that we didn't know the real him. That's all I gotta say. I don't care what him and his ungodly wussy sons have to say. All his many sons. I don't give a shit what you have to say. Put your gun away. That's why you need guns. Anyhow. So I'm hasta la vista, baby. Siema Seymour, or whatever it goes. I don't. What's that word? Sayonara, or whatever. I'm out of here. That's it. You don't need to live here and have nothing. I'm 49 years old. If I was a felon and I spent my life getting loaded and screwing everybody else's wife and daughters and robbing people and doing coke all my life and smoking the best marijuana on the planet and just robbing and money laundering and involving myself with money deals across the country and fucking everybody, then it makes sense that I'd be where I'm at. But I've involved myself in none of that. Zero, zilch, nada. I can't speak for Chris, my mother, the man she married, his kids, his many kids, and whether or not Chris, my mother, and the man she married ever had a child. But I got a gut feeling years ago, back in the 80s, there's a possibility of that, but I don't care. And that's the bottom line, and I don't care. My goal is to get out here. I have no emotional nothing for that, none of them. When you're 49 years old and all you know is suffering, I can't sell out to nothing other than having the least that I deserve. But I can't, things are in God's hands, not in my hands. I can't predict whether or not, he, if you're just, you're just. If you're not, you're not. But yet nobody's chained any particular land. Well, some are, but for the most part, most people are not chained to any particular land. You can break the chains and move, and that's what I'll do, even if I have to move at nothing. Once I get into a situation where I don't like it, I adapt. That's the way I was. I mean, I remember when I was recycling 5 years ago. I was recycling, pouring down rain, water was everywhere. There was flooding, and I'll never forget that. I was off of Ontario Mills one time, and I stopped at the gas station near there when I was recycling with the trailer. It was pouring down rain. There was a foot of rain on the roads, and I was still pedaling that bicycle, dragging that trailer, sobbing wet. I can adapt like I did before. It's when you get away from it for a while that you don't want to have to get back into it, but I can adapt. But that's what I speak is what I speak, and that's the way it is. And I'm willing to take anybody on. Don't get me wrong there. I'm not these fake versions of Jeff and Ron that they had to sell their guilt out to. I don't mind taking them on. I don't need a dagger or a 9mm or 45 caliber. I don't need none of that. You may, but I don't. But like I said, they cross that border with daggers and everything else. So you broke the law. You broke the law, you need to pay the fine. The only time that changes is when you sit back and allow somebody else to be robbed and ripped off and others to do as they wish to that person, and sit back and well, it's destruction of public property. And that's all you can say as a police officer to somebody who's destroying somebody. Well, it's destruction of public property. And then that same person is being victimized. You put your hand in that trash can one more time. Dude, you can't be still in utilities. You cannot be still in utilities. You are not leaving this courtroom until you tell us where you're staying tonight. You are not leaving this courtroom until you tell us where you're staying. That's no way of conducting yourself as a police officer. Period. You bring all your trained information you have, and you show me your trained information where that's the kind of attitude you should have towards somebody who's never involved themselves in nothing but petty, and it took 40 years for it to happen. You show me where, unless you've been programmed into believing something that isn't true, you show me, or you show me evidence of what justifies your attitude against me. That's what you need to do. Amen. Anyhow, that's it for now. And I got to get something together today because I got a job interview today. So today's my opportunity. That's it for now.